Okay, partial fractions, and we are starting with this integral from the 2023 test 3, and it's the integral, well, the indefinite integral of 1 over x plus x into root x with respect to x. Okay, now, first thing that I would do, well, I have a common factor of x on the denominator, so let's pull that out, and let's see what happens, because, well, currently I have no idea what to do with this integral. So we get 1 over x into 1 plus root x, and still kind of looking lost here. So I'm going to say, well, this root x looks like a problem. Okay, what do we like to do with problems? Well, we say let u equal root x. Now you could sub in this whole thing for u, but I'm just gonna do root x because trust me, it's much more easier. I'm pretty sure you would get the same answer though if your algebra is correct. So this would mean that du is what? 1 over 2 root x dx. Okay, now let's multiply both sides by 2 root x so that we get dx is equal to 2 root x du. Now, what did we say about root x? We said, well, that's u. Okay, said it right here. So that means that here we can say this implies that dx is also equal to 2u du. Okay, now here we can say this implies that if we square both sides, we get u squared equals to x. Now why do we need that? Because we do have an x in our integral. So we say that 1 over x into 1 plus root x dx is going to be equal to this integral. So it's going to be 1 over, actually I'm not going to put the 1 there. We said x is u squared, so u squared, and we said that root x is u, and then we have our dx, so I'm going to put du, and then I'm going to put the 2u on the top where 1 was. Okay, cool. So now what we do is that we'd say, okay, we have a u squared here, we have a u here, they're all being multiplied together. I can just cancel a u out. So we get the integral of 2 all over u into u plus 1 du. Okay, now what would I do? Well, let's look at the integrand. Now what is the integrand? It's basically whatever's inside the integral. So this whole thing, okay, excluding the du. So our integrand is this. Now why would I do that? Well, let's try and break this up into multiple fractions so that it becomes easier to take the integral. So I'm going to say, well, a over, let's take the first factor, u plus b over the next factor, which is u plus 1, and now we are going to basically go in reverse. So what do I mean by that? Well, if we had x plus 1 over x plus, let's say, 3x over y, what would you do? Well, you'd say, obviously, cross multiply, you get x plus 1 into y plus 3x into x all over xy. Now what we are doing is we are trying to go from here to here. Okay, we're going in reverse. So how do we do that? Well, let's look at the denominator here, and let's look at the denominator here. So let's put out 2. Now, what is the denominator of our a missing in order for it to be complete? What do I mean by that? It already has a u, so it's missing the u plus 1. So what do? We say, okay, a, and then we multiply by whatever it's missing, plus b. Hopefully you can see has the u plus 1, so we're just missing u. Okay. We can distribute this, combine them together. Okay, what did I do here? Combine these together, so I said AU plus BU, then I pulled out a U, and that's how we got here. And then this A just stays alone. Okay. So now, what does this mean? Oops, that looks ugly. So, now we can conclude that, well, if we had like, okay, let's say this was 2u plus 2. Okay, I'm gonna write this in different colors so we don't get confused. 2u plus 2. If we did have that, well, we could say that 2 is equal to a plus b. Why? Because we have a u here and a u here. But now in this case we don't. So what does that mean? That means that a plus b equals 0. And that also means that a is equal to 2. Why? Because it's a constant and a constant. Okay? So we know a is 2, so this implies 2 plus b equals 0, b is equal to minus 2. Okay, cool. Let's put this in a box, put this in a box. So the integral, oops, that's too big. The integral of 2 over u into u plus 1. 2 over u into u plus 1 du is equal to, we found our a, so a into, and here we'd have an integral, so integral a over first factor plus, now b is minus 2, so I'm not going to have a plus here, I'm going to have the minus, so we could put 2 over u plus 1 du. So if you can't see it here, there's 2 over u, oops, okay, there's 2 over u, this would be 2 into 1 over u, this here would be 2 into 1 over u plus 1. What does that mean? That means that our answer is 2 into ln absolute value of u minus 2 ln absolute value u plus 1. Can factor out a 2 here, and we can sub back in our u, which was root x minus ln root x plus 1 plus c, and we're done. And if you need the whole solution, there we go.